If you have a mute button on your computer, definitely please do so. I'm jumping in here for some settings, so bear with me. So guys, we're going to get started in about, say 6 minutes. So just kind of hang tight, just waiting for more people coming on. If you want, grab a cup of coffee, glass of water, whatever you want, definitely do so. And we'll kind of get everything going at around noon. So we have about 5 minutes. I know we do have a chat window. I don't know if you can see it. I think my counterpart should be jumping on hopefully in about 5 minutes. She'll be able to answer any kind of questions via chat. And that's basically how we're asking that you ask questions, and we'll go from there. I promise this will not be a snooze fest. I'm hoping everything will be good to go. So can everyone hear me okay? I'm hoping everyone can hear me okay. Also, can they see the screen where it's the Middlesex main homepage? So we're going to get started probably in about 4 minutes. So I'm assuming that everyone can hear me okay. If not, if you can't hear me or anything like that, I think there's a little chat window. Hopefully you can see my screen, and we'll kind of go from there. So we have about 3 more minutes. I have my cup of coffee. I promise you this will be a nice, easy, quick session. My goal is for this not to be a snooze fest. And so just hang tight. We have about 2 more minutes. I see Tanya, I see Guy, I see Emily on here. I see Harris. So we'll be starting in about 2 minutes. More people are jumping in. I see Tanya, Emily, Harris, Guy, and Kathy. So just to give you a heads up, everyone's going to be muted that way, just in case if there's any feedback or anything like that. I think one of the sessions we had was not muted, and we heard everything that was going on. So basically everyone's going to be muted. That way, there's no issue or anything like that. I'm going to start in about 1 minute, so hang tight. So we have about, Tanya, Emily, Guy, Harris, Kathy, Alexander, Samantha. A couple more seconds here. This shouldn't take any more than I'm hoping a half an hour. I don't want to waste your time. I want to make sure you guys can navigate throughout Canvas. And also, if there are any questions, I think there's a chat window. My counterpart, I hope, is jumping on soon. Or if not, the questions, I'll try to answer questions as we go through. Okay, well, it's noon, so welcome everyone. My name is Michael Sullivan. I am director of Middlesex County College's Department of eLearning. We are a brand new department here at Middlesex. I'm actually home today. Unfortunately, I had a little bit of food from the cafeteria and my stomach has not been agreeing with me. So yeah, we'll be covering basically how to get into Canvas, kind of some stuff that you're used to with Campus Cruiser. I'm going to try to point out some similarities. There's some differences, but all in all, hopefully you'll be able to navigate okay. There's a lot of functionality that has not been taken away with the move to Canvas. It's just kind of everything's been kind of blown up. So with Campus Cruiser, everything was kind of in this little kind of nebulous here, but since we've moved away from Campus Cruiser, kind of went like that. But point out where kind of everything is at the moment. Welcome, Maria. Hi, Kailea. So we have a few people in here. So that being said, I'm starting here on the main Middlesex webpage here. Hopefully all of you are familiar with this. The best way to get into Canvas is by going to My MCC. So My MCC at the top of the screen here kind of encapsulates everything that you are used to in Campus Cruiser is just kind of put on this page here. If you notice here, you have a whole different things like Web Advisor. Web Advisor has not gone away. That way, if you need to search for classes, look for your instructor, it is still here. It has not gone away. And then on the right-hand side here, if you remember announcements within Campus Cruiser, they are now here. So any kind of relative information that you may be looking for pertaining to the college is now housed within that My MCC button. So that being said, we have, like I said, a whole bunch of things here. You have access to the bookstore, request a transcript, search for classes, everything. So where I am going to focus in on is on the left-hand side here. If you notice the little Canvas button, we're going to click on that. So this is the main Canvas, our landing page for Canvas. So basically any kind of information that eLearning is trying to kind of convey to all of you would be housed within this little area here. Right now we're kind of trying to get faculty trained, make sure they're up and going to be able to service you guys better. We are definitely mindful that you, if it weren't for you, we would be nothing. So trust me, I'm well aware that students drive everything. So we do our best to kind of accommodate you and listen to you as well. So if I were to scroll down here, here's information here. If you haven't claimed your net ID, that's where you want to go. You want to click on that link, and then from there, you'll be able to, once you get that all set up, you'll be able to access Outlook, you'll be able to access Canvas, and a plethora of other content that you previously had access to. I know with Campus Cruiser going away, Campus Cruiser had email. Email now is housed within Outlook. Basically, in Outlook, you can you have a lot more functionality. You're not restricted anymore to, I think it was like, 10 megs and everything kind of shut down. I think now with Outlook email, you're given, and OneDrive, you're given about 1 I can't speak today. You have basically a full amount of space, a terabyte of information. My apologies. With that being said, even in your classes, there will be no kind of file cap or anything like that preventing you from sending out attachments, as well as your instructor mailing you. There's no more limitations within that anymore. So welcome everyone who has just joined. I'm looking at the chat window here. Thank you. Maria is in the chat. Thank you. So as I was saying, in the Canvas landing page here, if you scroll down, there's announcements in here. There's an area for you guys if you get absolutely lost and befuddled in Canvas. There's a tab here for students. If you click on it here, there are Canvas guides, maybe how to submit an assignment, how to do send a message within Canvas, just different things in there. If you kind of get stuck, I would strongly suggest taking a look in there. That'll be the best place, and even faculty have their own little Canvas guide as well, and we're pointing them to that as well. If I scroll up here a little bit, if you notice, there are apps you can download for Canvas, which is really cool. The one thing I suggest is not typing your whole paper on your cell phone, because it's not cool, and plus, autocorrect can only get you so far, and citing is probably going to be a real pain in the butt. So that being said, on the left-hand side, typically everyone is going to click on where it says Canvas Login for faculty, students, and staff. This takes you to a landing page where if you've used your Outlook account, it's kind of the same thing. Middlesex is trying to push single sign-on. That way, one email ID and password kind of gets you into everything. It's kind of the keys to the kingdom. So this is where you would typically log in. But in my case, since I'm kind of like a test student, what I'm going to show you, everything from the perspective of the student, I have to jump in a different way. But this is typically where you would log in here. So remember, this is the button you would click on to log in. For now, I'm logging in here where it says email login for guests, just so I can show you the student perspective in Canvas. So I'm clicking in here, and God, I hope I remember my ID and password. Drum roll. I think I'm in. Yes, I am in. So when you first come into Canvas, this is kind of the main screen that you look at here. Also, before I get started in here, make sure you're either using Chrome or you're using Firefox. Safari, I'm on a Mac right now, but Safari and Internet Explorer or Edge, it will work, but there are a lot of kind of glitches that basically aren't supported by Instructure Canvas people as well as us. If you are accessing Canvas, you are going to do it through Chrome or Firefox. In this instance, I'm actually using Chrome. And if you notice here, any kind of information that comes out from eLearning, if we're trying to push out a message to you, maybe if we're adding new classes, the campus might be closed for the semester, Canvas might be down, this is where the information, this is where we would put it right here. To the right-hand side, you have a to-do this is your activity feed area here. You have to-do, if there are any assignments that are coming up, it will list right here. Also, anything that is coming up, like maybe a test might be coming up or a discussion forum that you have to post to, it would list right here. And if you've gotten any new grades or anything like that, it would show up in here, this area as well. You can view all of your grades by clicking View Grades. And so before I kind of go into a class right now, if you want to kind of close out of the message area here that you're seeing here, there's an X here at the top right-hand side. If I click on that, it kind of compresses everything. Next, on the left-hand side here, we have what's called global navigation. Global navigation, if you've ever seen the Wizard of Oz, if you think of Dorothy, she got lost, there's no place like home. If you ever get lost, this is never going away. This will always stay with you, whatever class you jump into. So if you get lost and you just have no clue as to where you are, there is a discussion, the dashboard area here that you click on. When you click on the dashboard, this is the first screen that you're taken to upon logging into Canvas. You can see here all the courses that you've enrolled in. You might not see the class that you're enrolled in just yet. If you've registered today, we kind of send a feed out to Canvas 2 times a day. Slow down a little. Okay. So next, on the left-hand side here, we have your account area here. If you want to actually add in an avatar or a picture or anything like that, you can click in the account area here, and you can add it in your settings profile area. Also, if you want to log out, you can actually click on log out, and that will take you. So if you're at a computer within the college, you can actually click on that, it'll log you out. You don't have to worry about someone else coming in and taking your class for you. So next, in the settings area, in the profile area here, you can add an avatar picture of yourself, you can add a picture of a cat, you can add whatever you want, something that might represent you. I know with my personal Canvas account, I have an avatar of a Funko Pop. Yeah, I hate my picture, so I put that there. Also in here, you can do a little bio about yourself. You can edit it by clicking here. Notifications area here, we're still an account, don't forget. If you click in notifications, this is where you can kind of append everything, the notifications that you are receiving within Canvas. Here's email address. You can change that if you were to actually go into your settings area here if you want it forwarded somewhere else. But here you can kind of control if you're you can get email if you've gotten if you've gotten maybe a test grade, or if maybe there's an announcement or there's a message from your instructor, this will forward out to your actual Middlesex email account. So that's kind of the notification preferences. In the settings area here as well, you can kind of change everything. You can change your forwarding email address if you'd like. I'd recommend against it, just because everything flows out to Outlook. Your Outlook account, that's your best bet. Next, if we scroll down here, if you have any services such as Google Drive, Skype, or anything, you can associate it with your account just by kind of clicking in here and filling out your login information for those different services. So next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click back on Dashboard just so we can kind of be on the main screen here. Also, you have a listing of your courses here. You have your calendar, where if you have any kind of tests coming out, it's universal. You can kind of see everything that's going on within all of your classes. So here's an example right here. I have some stuff that's due, that was due, I guess, at the end of the month. I can click into it and it will take me to that class. You can actually sync this up as well with your iCal or your Google Calendar by clicking on the calendar feed here. That's completely up to you. Next here, which is all important, is your inbox. So I'm going to spend a minute or two here primarily focusing on your inbox is kind of different from your Outlook email. I know with Campus Cruiser, all email kind of went in through there. The messaging feature here in Canvas is relegated to basically anything in Canvas, the classes that you're enrolled in. This is your best way you can communicate with your instructors as well as your peers in your class. So after I clicked on inbox, I can kind of see everything that's come in here, either from my professor or my instructor. And then from there, I can click on it to read it. And if I want to reply to it, there is a reply button up here if I want. So bear in mind with that, you can click on reply there. You can also, here right now I'm in my inbox, if you want to see any sent mail or anything like that, you can click on information here and go to sent. And then you can see your sent messages from here. I think one of the questions from Alexander is, can you forward your email from Outlook to an inbox? Reading it to another inbox. You can. It would be, the Outlook settings are something completely different from what I'm covering here in Canvas. That's more of Office 365. Unfortunately, this is primarily for Canvas. So if I can, maybe if I can try to hit on it at the end, I'll try. We'll see. So if I want to compose a message here in Canvas to maybe an instructor, I can click out here. I'm just reading the chat here. Okay, thank you. Maria's doing it. Okay. So again, if I want to compose a new message to maybe someone in my class or to my instructor, I have an option here. It's a plume. It looks like a leaf. If I click on compose new message, a box pops up here. In the course, I can select what course I'm enrolled in. So in this course here, I'm in my online demo course. So you can type maybe a name of your instructor in here if you want. Your best bet, though, is if you go to the right-hand side here and click on address, the address book here. And I have an option here for teachers, students. So this is the students in your class, and here's the teachers. So some of your instructors may not have published their classes just as of yet. They might open tomorrow. So in some cases, you might not have this option until tomorrow. So if I click on teachers, I have the instructor, Michael Sullivan. I can click on that. And then I can just type a simple message. Hi, I look forward to class. So the messaging in Canvas is very kind of straightforward. If you're familiar with, say, Facebook Messenger, you're not able to bold, you're not able to underline. Yes, you can send GIF files as well as emoticons or emojis, but here you cannot. Here it's just straight text. This is a simple means of communication between you and your instructor. Let's see here. So you could write your message here. If you need to attach anything, you would attach it by clicking on the attachment button here. If you're looking to submit a paper, I wouldn't do it here per se. Your instructor might have an assignment set up within Canvas. That's where you would submit any kind of paper. For your class, I would check the Canvas course first. You can also record a video of yourself if you want, or an audio file right here. That's completely up to you. So in this case, I'm clicking on the send button. And so now the message has been sent to my instructor. So that's basically how you communicate within Canvas within your class. So again, I click on the plume. I can select the course that I'm in. And then from here, I can click on the address book. So maybe I don't want to write something to my instructor. Maybe I want to send something to appear in my class. If I click on students, I have Anita Luxey and Michaela Sullivan, my daughter. So I can select them, and then I can do the same thing. I can write a message as well. So let me cancel out of this. So that's basically messaging in Canvas. So the messaging in Canvas will actually forward out to your Outlook email account to further complicate a little bit. It will forward out to your Outlook account. You can actually reply from your Outlook account and it'll flow back into Canvas. I strongly suggest, however, you go through here. If you're going to communicate with your instructor, I would do it in here within the Canvas inbox area. Okay, so that's kind of the gist of that. So I'm jumping back over to Dashboard real quick. And I'm going to click into my online orientation demo course right here. If you didn't know, I'm a big Star Wars geek, nut, whatever you want to call it. I love Star Wars. So if I click in here, we have a class here, Welcome to Star Wars 101, Introduction to Star Wars. So in here, your instructor, this is your course homepage. Your instructor can kind of put whatever they want in here, maybe a little bit of a welcome or an intro. And then from there, you can kind of, if you notice here, you still have your activity feed here on the right-hand side. And then on the left-hand side, we have what's called your course menu. So right now, I'm on the home page here for my course. So I know primarily in the past, your instructors kind of shared all the material via shared files in Campus Cruiser. That's kind of no longer the case anymore. So you're basically now all of your instructors are putting all the material for your course. They're housing it here within modules. So if I click on modules, I can see everything here in Module 1. So Module 1 could represent a week's worth of work. It could represent a chapter. It could represent a topic. It's all how your instructor chooses to set up his or her course. So in this case here, I have a module. And so here's the first part in the module. I can click in Module 1 Introduction. So the instructor is kind of giving me a lead into what I'm covering for that, what they're covering for that week's worth of work. So here's a little bit of information here. The cool thing about the modules area is I can click on the next button and it will take me to the next area within the module. So the next selection. So if I go back to modules here on the left-hand side, if I were to click the next button, it would take me right here to this next video original Star Wars trailer. So your instructor can post different things such as PowerPoints, such as videos, links to different websites in this area here. I know many of you are familiar with bookmarks. All of it would be housed within here as well as assignments. So in here, the instructor, the cool thing about Canvas as well is if an instructor posts a Word document or a PowerPoint file, you don't necessarily need to have PowerPoint or Word. Canvas kind of puts up its own little viewer. That way you can kind of view everything, any kind of file, PowerPoint or Word document within your course here. And in this case here, I can kind of scroll through the PowerPoint in my course. So if I want to go to the next part within my module, I can either hit on the next button here and it'll tell me what's coming up next. It's the discussion forum. or I can go back a level here and I can go back to the previous kind of area in the module as well. So I'm clicking on modules again. So the next thing in pretty much all online courses, or in some cases for some of your face-to-face courses, your instructor may want you to participate in the discussion forum. The discussion forum is kind of a nice way where the instructor, say in class, were to raise a topic. You sit in class and you raise your hand and you answer that topic that the instructor or question the instructor poses to you. It's kind of the same theory with the discussion forum. So if I click right here in the discussion, who shot first? So here's a little bit of information that the instructor is kind of posting here. They're saying, what to reply to what you would reply to when it's due. And then you can do so here. If you look down a little bit, you have a reply area. I can click in the reply area. And then I can start kind of replying, my thoughts as to the question the instructor posed. Remember, you're in a collegiate setting, so no emoticons, no smiley faces, no typing all in caps, because some people consider it to be rude. Also, abbreviating words like I don't know, IDK, or LOL, or BTW. You don't do it in here. You actually write out a well thought out kind of response to your instructor's question. Also, with the discussion forum here, some of your instructors may have a setting where basically you have to post first, meaning you have to write your response to the instructor's question. Once you post it, then all of everyone else's submittals or posts will open up. That way you're not poaching off of anyone else's ideas at the last hour. They can set it up to be that way. In some cases they can, in some cases they don't. It's just what your instructor kind of wants for their course. So in this area here, you can type up a thoughtful response, and I have caps lock on. If I ever need to attach a file or anything like that within the discussion forum, it's real simple to do. I can highlight maybe where I want the file to go. So maybe here's thoughtful response. I've highlighted the word response. From there, I can go up here and click on the files area. For some reason, it hangs on me. I have no idea why. Something I need to write to Canvas about. But in the files area here, you can actually select a file, upload it, and it would show up right here. And for some reason, this is kind of evading me at the moment. I don't know why. But yeah, you would have a listing of files, and then you would have a button where you could upload a file as well. Okay, I'm just reading the chats that are going on here. So differentiating assignments, I'm going to kind of cover everything, and we're going to go through it all, so just kind of hang tight. This is kind of a whole presentation, and then from there I'll answer any questions that you have. So an assignment could possibly be a discussion forum, which is what I'm in right now. If I go back to modules here, there are different icons here associated. To the left here, here's just a simple page. Here is a link that I'm sending you to, or a YouTube video. Here's a file. If you notice the download, you can download the attachment. There's a file load button. From here is your discussions. So you have the icon for discussions. So any kind of assignments here, if you notice on the left, there's like a little kind of pencil and paper here. This is how you can tell if this is an assignment or not. You can click into it as well. Your instructor won't penalize you for clicking into kind of the assignment to see what it is they want you to submit. So in this case here, I have a paper here, the Module 1 reaction paper. Usually your instructor will also notify, if it is an assignment or it's a paper requirement right in here. So if I click in the Module 1 reaction paper area, so once I come in here, if you notice, I have a due date, which is right here, how many points the assignment is worth, and submitting. So I'm sending up a file upload, which is a Word document, it's a PowerPoint, and that's where you would do it from there. I'm just reading the chat here. For online classes, how do you submit and complete tasks? That's kind of what I'm doing right now. I'm showing you. So this is an assignment, submitting an assignment here. So the instructor has given instructions of what they're looking for. in the assignment, posing, what the assignment's about, what they're looking for. You would click up here where it says, typically it says submit assignment. I've been in here a couple times, so it's saying resubmit an assignment. So it would say submit assignment. So I click on it, and there's an area right here where I can submit the assignment. So I can choose the Word document that I've created or typed out right in here. If you have Office 365, you can click on it there. That way you're not carting around like a thumb drive to and from the college, so that way it doesn't get lost. But in this case, I'm just clicking to choose to upload a file. So in this case, I'm clicking choose file. Remember, this is an assignment. Here's a Word document right here. I'm just going to double click on it. So you can see the assignment is listed right here now. Let me cancel. Went away. Do that again. So the assignment's right here. If I want to add another file, I can right here by clicking add another file. You can add a comment, just a small comment. You're not typing your paper in here. You can just add a comment like maybe this was a great assignment. And then from there, I can go ahead and click on submit assignment. Once you submit your assignment, it'll tell you, in this case, I forgot to change the setting in here, but it will tell you that your assignment has been submitted. Here's the timestamp. There's submission details right here. You can download the paper if you ever need a copy of it and you're on campus. You can just pull up Canvas, go to the assignment and click right here. And this sends it out to the instructor, where the instructor can grade your assignment accordingly. So that's basically how you would submit an assignment in Canvas. So I'm losing my voice, I apologize. So if I go back over here on the left to modules, again, remember modules is like the meat and potatoes of your course, the lettuce and tofu, depending upon what you choose to eat. And so from here, some of your instructors will be doing assignments via Turnitin. Turnitin is a plagiarism detection software service that Middlesex has currently signed on with. Here's someone is not muted. So if anything here's a Turnitin assignment right here, the Death Star, that's no moon. If I click into it, and bear with me 1 second here. Okay. So here's a Turnitin assignment right here. So your instructor, again, can give instructions, and then from there you can click load the Death Star, that's no moon, turn it in a new window, or you can, in some cases, it'll have it right in here where you would submit the assignment. So if I click on load the Death Star, okay, so what I can do is I can submit my next assignment here. That's not letting me. So typically I can upload the file here just as you would typically upload a normal document. Unfortunately, I thought I had reset this and it didn't. Okay, so if the file were submitted, some of your instructors do have an option where you can actually see the authenticity report right here, and you can see it as well. You have a timestamp again as far as when you've submitted the paper, and you can click in here. Hopefully it'll load. And it'll kind of show you, I am hungry, I like Star Wars. Yes. So here's the paper here. It'll show you kind of, if I were to click anywhere in this area right here, the authenticity area, I can sit there and see kind of where the source is pulled from. If you haven't, you can cite all you want. You can kind of take information from another source. Basically, though, you need to cite your resources. So don't forget to do that. So here's kind of everything where the information has been pulled for authenticity. So, and here's where it shows primarily where the information has been pulled from. So I am has come from somewhere, which, okay. And then in here, you can add comments as well within Turnitin. So not a majority of, I think primarily just your English instructors will be using Turnitin as well as your psychology instructors. there's any questions, you can definitely call us up and we can kind of answer anything that you, any question you throw at us regarding Turnitin. So I'm going to close out of that real quick here. So this is all in Canvas. This is all housed within Canvas. So next, I'm jumping back over to modules here again. So now I have a quiz. So some of your classes might require you to do an objective quiz. Could be like, say, 20 questions, could be like 30 questions. It's up to your instructor. My suggestion when you are taking a quiz, 9 times out of 10, they are timed. So typically, if your house is crazy in the morning like mine, that's probably the worst time you want to take your quiz. Usually at the end of the night when all 3 of my kids are in bed, it's the best time in the world. I can kind of relax, and that's most likely when I want to do my assignment from there. So if I click into it, I can see here at this point I have no due date for my quiz. It's worth 3 points. There's 3 questions. I have 10 minutes to take it. So usually you have a button right here that says you can take the quiz by clicking on this button here. So if you click on that button, that's when your quiz begins. So if there is an issue where you accidentally click on it, or if there's an issue, eLearning is unable to assist you in that regard. You need to contact your instructor because they have to either reset the quiz or delete your submission. There's not much we can do in that regard. So if you accidentally hit it, you do have to contact your instructor and they can kind of reset it for you where you can go in and do it. So in this case here, I'm going to click on to take the quiz again. So there are a whole bunch of different questions here. During the infamous cantina scene, who shot first? That was definitely Han. Obi-Wan Kenobi was played by Sir Alec Guinness. That is absolutely true. And what was Luke's X-Wing call sign? It was Red 5. So if I go in now, I can click on Submit Quiz. And now I have my grade here. I got all 3 correct. Yay, I know it's Star Wars. And in here, it tells me my current score, 3 out of 3. I've taken, some of your instructors may allow you to take more than 1 attempt. It'll most likely show the highest attempt right in this area. So that's kind of taking a quiz within Canvas. I'm going to jump back to modules. So that's kind of what the most of the things you would see within a module assignments, which I covered. That's where you're just submitting your paper. And if you remember here, it's just a little icon here with a piece of paper and a pencil. You have your discussions with kind of the little talk bubbles here. You have your quiz, which is a rocket ship. I have no idea why. And then from here, you have other information as well on the left-hand side. So that's basically kind of a module here. So your instructor will probably, I hope they would have more than 1 module or more than 1 week's worth of work kind of showing. It's totally up to them what they choose to put in here. Next, your instructor can send any announcements within your course. Maybe that the course might be canceled, the class might be canceled for the day. Maybe they're feeling ill. Maybe they got a hold of some bad chicken like I did at the cafeteria. It's totally up to them what they put in here, or maybe there's an assignment coming up. They can click into announcements, and here's an announcement that my instructor has sent to the class. Typically, it will show up on the top of your course home screen, which is up in this. So if I click on home, my network is slow. So it would show up kind of up in this area here, any kind of announcement that your instructor posts. So I'm just jumping back over to announcements here. I can actually click into the announcement. And so my instructor has posted a welcome to the course here. You don't have to, there's no need to reply to it. It's just kind of giving you information pertaining to your course. Most of your instructors right now will show something like, hi, welcome to class. Here, some might attach a syllabi. So definitely keep an eye out for any announcements that are within your course. Okay, so the question for courses. So this is primarily just, I'm within 1 course. If I need to jump out to see all the other courses I'm in, the dashboard is kind of like your home button within Canvas, kind of the big home button. So if I click on dashboard, here's a listing of all the courses that I've signed up for or enrolled in at Middlesex. You can also see here there's little badges here. There might be a new announcement. That's what this represents. Again, remember the icons. There's an assignment, new assignment, there's a discussion, and there's any kind of new files that are posted as well. So this will give you a heads up if there's anything new going on within your course. So remember, I clicked into my online orientation demo. And so again, this takes me into my one particular class. So you could have a box that's English. In Dashboard, you could have a box that might be English. You could have psychology. You could have student success course. This is where your individual classes are listed. And by clicking on any one of the boxes, it will take you into that specific course. So another area here that I'm sure you want to see is the grades area. So all of your grades would be posted right in here by clicking on grades. And this is kind of where you can see all of your grades. So as of right now, I think I have a 94.33%. I'm doing quite well in my course. So this is a case if you want to see any kind of feedback that your instructor may have given for your test or for your assignment, I can click right here into the assignment, and the instructor can leave feedback or any kind of comments or messages to you. You can just click into the assignment. I'm pretty sure. Am I correct with that, Maria? Okay. While we're waiting for Maria as well, basically here in this area here, it'll give you a total of your grade. You can print it out if you want. And just like with Campus Cruiser, this does have predictive grading. What do I need to get?
I'm sorry, Mike. Excuse me, Mike. Sorry, would you please repeat that question?
Yeah, no problem. So
that you had to me?
Yeah, if a student wanted to see feedback, basically, so I'm in the grades area, I would just click on the paper, correct?
Yes, because that would take you to their submission, and if the instructor had entered comments, you would see it there attached to the submission.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you. Sorry.
You're welcome.
All right, and so in here, there's a check mark box here. I can calculate based only on graded assignments, and so that will give me my grade that I see here, the 94.33. That's all that I've submitted. If I uncheck it, then it kind of drops a little bit because there's still assignments that I need to submit. So it's treating ungraded items as a 0 at the moment. If I click back again, I have my 94.33%. So, and then in here, you can also, after grades, on the left-hand side in your course menu, I can click on people. And these are the people within my course. So if I click on any one of the people, say Michaela Sullivan, if I click on her, it just goes a little bio about the person right in here. So nothing crazy, nothing fancy, just a listing. If you want to see if anyone else that you knew was in your course, you can click on people and it would show you right in there. So that's kind of the gist of this presentation. Again, I don't want to hold anyone up from whatever they're doing. This is kind of just showing what it looks like from your perspective going into Canvas for the very first time. Remember, all of your courses are housed within here in the dashboard area. Here are the classes right here, and again, you can click into each individual one. If you're looking to message some of your instructors and you can't within the messaging feature here in Inbox, it might just mean they haven't published their course just as of yet. They might be waiting till Monday to do it, so just kind of hang tight with that. If you're unable to message them at this point, just wait. And then also, if you've signed up for a course and you are not seeing it in this area here, we do 2 feeds into Canvas per day. We do one, I think, around 10 o'clock in the morning, and I think another one around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the evening. So I would wait until then. So if you signed up at, like, say, 1 o'clock, I'd probably wait till 5 o'clock for it to show up here in your dashboard. So that being said, I guess, if there's any questions, fire them away. I'll do our best to answer. Again, Maria and I have been in this position for about 6 months. So, we'll do our best to answer any questions. We're also archiving this session and hopefully putting it up online. So if there are any questions about anything I posted up, it will be up online, probably on our landing page, as it will most likely put it in as a YouTube video. When will the archives be up? The archives most likely, maybe hopefully by the end of today, I'm hoping. You have to convert it and throw it up to YouTube, and then one of the people at the office has to actually load it up to the web page. So just to give you a heads up too, we've worked, Maria and I have kind of done the distance learning thing for over 10 years. I know Maria previously was at Brookdale, who was a Canvas school, so she's a fantastic Canvas administrator. So any questions, she is far superior to me in that regard regarding kind of the ins and outs of Canvas. I come from, Maria was at Brookdale as well as Lincoln Tech, I think. And then from there, me, I was at Middlesex County College, and then previously, and then also I was at Community College Philadelphia and Temple University. So teachers, yes, teachers have started using this program already. If you haven't received any correspondence from them, you might want to possibly, if you don't see anything by like Monday, I would most likely, if you haven't heard anything, you're more than welcome to reach out to our department. We can be reached. Hold on, let me pull it up here. Quit. So we can be reached here. Do new document. New document. So your best bet, we have kind of a generalized mailbox where all of us can kind of access. There's three of us. Well, technically four. There's three of us. There is me, there's Maria, and there is Christine Blanos. We all can assist you with any questions that you may have regarding Canvas. We can be reached at eLearning at middlesexcc.edu. That will come into our inbox. There's also another way you can reach us as well. I know I'm giving multiple email addresses, but you're bound to reach us either way. LMS help at Middlesex, if I can spell right, cc.edu. Thank you, Maria. Any part that you know they're not in Canvas? I mean, we got to play a little bit with Campus Cruiser, I won't lie. We kind of came in July, and we were tasked with getting faculty trained as well as you guys. I mean, from what I see, you know, there is everything that was in Campus Cruiser is either in Canvas or in the My MCC area. Can your emails be emailed out to your inbox? So there are three kind of settings that are automatically kind of set in Canvas that forward out to your Outlook email address. Kind of messaging in Canvas is separate from your Outlook email address. There are three things. First is if an instructor messages you, or basically that's forwarded out to your Outlook account. If you haven't claimed your NetID, I strongly suggest you do it. Number two is if there are any announcements within the course. Again, if class is canceled, that forwards out to your Outlook email address as well. And any kind of grading. If an instructor submits a grade to you, that will kick out to your Outlook email account as well. Yes, it is definitely not the same. Outlook is more robust. You can do a lot more with it. You can, you know, create tables. You can do all sorts of different things. The messaging tool in Canvas is simply, it's housed within the learning management system, meaning all of your classes that are there, you can only message your instructors or your classmates that are assigned to that class. Outlook is more of a bigger, broader, you know, if you're looking to send an email to the registrar or maybe financial aid, that goes from Outlook. Any messaging or anything pertaining to your class, that goes with messaging in Canvas. So your NetID is basically your access to Outlook. It's your access to Canvas. If you have not created a NetID, you won't be able to access Canvas or Outlook. And I know also within Canvas, let me pull that back up real quick. In here, some of you may be assigned, you might see groups in here as well. I know O'Day over in registration area has done a fantastic job of creating groups for everyone. So, you know, he's been working tirelessly to put anyone in their corresponding group. If you don't see the groups option and you are in a group, I would reach out to O'Day and he can definitely add you in. Yes, he is. Great guy too. Okay, so if you email your professor from last semester, unfortunately, you would have to use Outlook. So Canvas is something completely different from Campus Cruiser. To give you a heads up, Campus Cruiser is I only used within this tri-state area within a handful of colleges. I could probably count on one hand how many schools use Campus Cruiser. Canvas is used by at least seven, I think seven schools in New Jersey, the county colleges, as well as Blackboard and Moodle. Those are Canvas is kind of one of the most popular learning management systems in the country. A lot of publisher content that you do have, like if you have like Cengage, MindTap, or um, what else is there? Like I can't even think, Macmillan, Launchpad, you'll see all that stuff integrated within your course as well, which is a lot nicer than how it used to be in Campus Cruiser. I'm just reading the chat here. Yes, that is correct, Maria. Yeah, please use Outlook to email your professor from a previous term. So yes, Campus Cruiser is completely shut down. Um, if your instructor needs to access anything from it, or if there's a question regarding a previous course, I would strongly suggest reaching out to your instructor first. I won't lie, right now it's just kind of crazy with the start of the semester and using this new learning management system. We might have to wait a week to get the information that you might be looking for, just because we have to dig into archives to grab some of the files. We did back up a good deal from Campus Cruiser. So are there any more questions? I don't want to hold anyone up. So if all of your questions have been answered, you're free to go. If anyone still has any questions, we can definitely answer them here. Yeah, setting up Outlook forwarding, that would most likely be in your account settings. This is not my specialty at all. I see Kathy Nagy in here. This is not my specialty at all regarding forwarding from Outlook. I'm just trying to think the best way. I know you can forward your mail from here in Canvas, but as regarding Outlook, if you go into, I think if you click on the waffle that's on the left-hand side, I think that might have, I think that's your Outlook settings. Let me jump in here real quick. I go into my Middlesex. And then if I go into Office 365 right here, let's see if it works for me. My email address is different from yours, just because I have the students have my.middlesex. I know faculty and staff have just the Middlesex. So yeah, I mean, this is kind of my OneDrive right here. So if you want to forward anything, if you look to the top right-hand side or the settings cog here, I'm thinking that's probably where you would kind of set your all of your settings. Yeah, if you click on your little avatar here, again, here's me. And if you click on my account, your personal email here, I'm pretty much, I think this is where you would do it in here. Again, this isn't my specialty, but I think that's pretty much where, if you were to manipulate anything regarding your email account, it would be done through here. Yes, Canvas does forward to Outlook. Three things. And then if you want to change anything that's forwarded or sent to your Outlook account, again, I'm in Canvas. If I go into my account here, on the left-hand side, notifications. This is where, if you don't want to be notified by certain things, you can just exit, click on the X, and you will not be notified. So the best way to contact Outlook or the ITS help desk, I think it's one way. I think is help_desk at middlesexcc.edu. Kathy, don't kill me if I'm giving the wrong information. Or you can call. I'm trying to remember. Go back into my mute. I am looking to see here. Let me click in the NetID area here. No. I'm trying to see here. And I definitely know it's help_desk at middlesexcc.edu. I think as of right now, that's the best I can give you. I think there's also 732-906-4357. I think that's help. 732. Thank you very much. 4251. Thank you. Kathy, you're the best. Thank you, Kathy Nagy. 4251. Thank you. Okay, we are running 2 more sessions on Monday. We're running one, I think, around noon. Let me check my phone here, my schedule. Monday, we are running a session at noon, and then we're also running one at 7 p.m. It's the same session that you see here. I guess we still have some people here. Also, if you're looking to register for any more classes, you can do so if I open up my browser and go back to Middlesex's main page. If I go to academics and I go to online courses, this is where you can see spring 2018 credit courses. Absolutely. And Alexander, there is a link, we'll post it up as well to our, there is kind of an orientation kind of account in Canvas where students don't need to log in. It'll just take them in there and it's like an orientation. Let me just jump over to that real quick. Let's see. Where are we? If I go back again to my MCC, if I go into Canvas, if I scroll down here a little bit, new to Canvas, please view our online Canvas student orientation. That will take you in and will kind of give students the opportunity where they can submit fake assignments, play around with Canvas a little bit. We try to make it a little bit visually appealing for students. How do you change your profile settings, ever important assignments, what to expect from online quizzes, and so on. Thank you. I will make every effort that, so once I'm done, the file will build once I close out of this session, and then we will, I'll throw it up to YouTube and see if we can get a link in here later on today. Again, our office is really, really crazy right now, and I know we'll try to get it up ASAP, hopefully by the end of the day today. Or Alexander, I'll look for you in Outlook, and then I can forward you a link if you know, if you need to forward it out to anyone. If you want, you're more than welcome to. Oh yes, and I'm just reading your previous email, Alexander. Yes, it is cool if you can share it if you'd like. That's no problem at all. So are we good? Are there any other questions? No, Alexander, great questions, and definitely thank you for asking them. I know this is college is going through huge changes right now, and uh, I know we're throwing a lot out at you guys, and we appreciate everyone's patience at the moment. Kathy Nagy, thanks for jumping in and answering questions for us as well. It was serendipitous that you were in today. You as well, Alexander. If you're ever around the area, stop in Center 3. We'll be more than happy to say hi. We're on the first floor in Center 3. Okay, so that being said, I think if there are no other questions, I'm going to go ahead and shut down. Alexander, you have a terrific weekend as well. I really appreciate your patience and understanding as we kind of go through this transition. Thank you, everyone.